Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. So, dear Dhamma friends, when we practice meditation, so you have to be mindful regarding the practice you doing, and especially when you sit for meditation, remember you are not trying to become somebody, because the very purpose of meditation to take out you from becoming somebody. So that is the important thing, that mentally you have to be prepared, because always we have a desire deeply inside us to look for something or to settle down mentally. So even when it comes to tranquility state, it is not you mentally settle down in one place and stay there, because if you get into like that solid moment of awareness, then what will happen next? So that's why always remember that even in tranquility state, you have to have a moment to let go what you experience in meditation. So you come to meditation to let go. Even in that letting go, you have to let go that also. It is very kind of like difficult to understand sometimes, because very purpose of practicing letting go things. But deeply sometimes we settle down with that moment, and we going to be with in a certain level, and again and again we mentally attach to wherever, whatever the moment you reach. So you came to that moment because you had the desire to let go. And then how about if you, even in tranquility state, if you able to settle down there and stay there? So in the vipassana, that is why deeply in the vipassana level, so it take you to deeper, and completely take you out from all the becoming nature. That is it is a kind of like a very radical way of mental practice. But that is what you allow to happen. So that is what you have to develop the clarity inside you when you are walking this path. Sometimes people like to become peaceful, calm, relax, and even when they find little bit on their way, and they don't want to let go, that they hold it to it, we have a very deeper nature like that. But what I'm telling here, when you are come to this meditation, remember, release that. No matter whatever the comfort that you gain, whatever even in the beginning, sometimes little comfort with your physical, mental, so let it pass, and even don't remind about it. Sometimes it is very difficult for us, because after this all, and if you are able to get into little bit peace and calmness, you like to hold it to it. And that is the very nature of us. But the thing is this, why we have to let go it? Because once you have an idea, And once you're able to settle down in whatever the peace or the tranquility state you achieve, when you settle down in that very moment, you lose the tranquility state of the mind. So that's why you have to be more mindful regarding the path and walk forward without stuck with your own experience. It apply to samatha and vipassana both. Remember that. In samatha state, we develop the tranquility state. In that tranquility state, we experience in a kind of a basic level of calmness, relax, comfort, like that mental qualities. But always remember, it is just a mental quality. Just let it go. Don't hold it to it. And in the beginning, so our mind has nature to go here and there. So don't get disturbed out of it. That's the very nature of it. So that's why we give a mental object. So stay into that mental object. That is your inhalation, exhalation. So when you have a intention to stay with the mental object itself, your mind get into a discipline. Why? Because it is not by mistake happening. It's a by choice you giving that mental object. So then once you have the primary mental object, just don't remember it going to take you nowhere. No, it's because you intensely, knowingly gave that mental object. So which we call nimitta. So then always harbor your thoughts, anchor your thoughts to the nimitta and stay with the inhalation, exhalation. And then wherever the mind go, bring it back only for your past or future. That's it. There only two sides that you have to look. So in samatha, it like this. If the person walk in between two cliffs, so the kind of like the wire, the person and keep the balance without folding to any side. So the person that always have the balance with the center line. So same like yourself. In samatha, always remember to keep the balance without your mind moving to past or future. Just keep in the center line. So that is post tranquility state. And when you become more and more and more sharp with that, what is happening? In the beginning, you have to have the effort to hold the mind without going to past or the future. So it is an effort. So then sometimes in the middle, to stay in the middle, you use less effort. So, but what is happening? When little by little, if you are able to bring the mind and keep here, bring the mind from your future, keep here in the middle, little by little, 100%, you can use the effort to stay in the present. So even there is an effort to hold in the present for a while. And the tranquility state means you have no effort to hold mind without going to past. You have no effort to hold your mind to keep without going to future. And even you have no effort to keep the mind in the center line. That is tranquility state. So it's kind of like you are walking in between like two mountains, like sometimes people in this high-end mountains, like in valley, people walk through a wire. So your mind, when you come to tranquility meditation, remember it's kind of like the same. Your main purpose should be your nimitta is your wire is the inhalation, exhalation. So stay to that wire, hold it to wire, that wire. So then in the beginning, you have to use the effort not to fall into past and not to fall into future. Maybe you go, you bring back. You go, you bring back. So that is the effort. So this work is called kamatahana. Work. You work with your mind. If you go, you bring back. You go to future, you bring back. This is very normal, natural. Another thing is, in the present moment, the present moment also, you have to have the effort in the beginning to keep in the center line. So this all three works is called kamatahana. In a certain level, what is happening, there is no effort anymore you put to your mind, and it doesn't go towards any past. And there is no effort to hold your mind. It doesn't go to any future thoughts. And now all the effort in the center line. And then for a while, when you keep practice what is happening, there is no effort even to keep your mind in the center line. It's naturally you are in that center line. That is the tranquility state. So in that very moment, your body, your breathing, your mind, your thoughts, that everything settle down to one. Another thing is, the mind become completely free from all the efforts. It doesn't go to past, doesn't go to future, even it doesn't have effort to hold it to the present moment. That everything settle down and the mind exists in that very moment. So from there, you can go to high mental powers, jhana. There are four mainly, and first absorption, second absorption, third absorption, fourth absorption. So that way, you can develop a path. But our purpose is getting to the vipassana meditation. So once the mind completely relaxed from that point, and you start to observe deeply, now this everything we work with the outside conditions, with the mind. So inhalation, exhalation, beginning, middle, end. It is an outside mental object. And then some inhalation become longer, shorter, heavy, soft, warm, cold, like this. So it is that related to the inhalation, exhalation. So it is an outside object. But now in the vipassana, you go inward. And how psychologically you respond to this outside situations. So you observe that. That is what called five aggregates. So the breathing itself is the form or the body. And from there, then according to the contacts come with the inhalation, exhalation, feelings arise. And according to that feeling, sensation arise. According to that sensation, formations or the thoughts arise. According to that, your consciousness or the awareness or the cognition arise. So now you have to drop that outside layer in that details. Inhalation, long, short, beginning, middle, and that kind of, you don't go with that. We do it in the tranquility meditation. So from now on, you observe how your mind, what is happening within your mind when the inhalation happens, when the exhalation happens. And according to how inhalation, exhalation, how this inside, all these aggregates change. So observe that again and again, then you will see moment by moment, moment by moment. When the inhalation happens, this all five aggregates change. When the exhalation happens, five aggregates change. And moment by moment, this change. Stay with that. And that is where you recognizing there is no moment to settle down. And that is what you understand, impermanent. The change in between the five aggregates. And sometimes you don't see this five, but just get into the sensation, pain, feelings, or the thoughts. Get one thing and go with it, stay with it. And when you stay with that little by little, little by little, you settle down. And then your mind invests that understanding again to observe that deeply. Again and again and again, you invest your understanding, your experience to deeply go and experience it, experience it. So that way, in a certain level, that journey become complete. When something happen 100%, you recognizing in that very moment the change beginning to end. And that is where anymore you don't need to put the effort. That itself you recognizing when it happened, you recognizing. And the same thing, like in a certain level, your tranquility state, your mind completely come out of doing part, practicing part, and you experience. In this Vipassana also the same. In a certain level, even though in the beginning you have this mindset inside to practice, so go with it, in a certain level, mind become free from this observing, but naturally it occur, it appear to mind. So that is where completely you settle down with. And from there, once you come to that level and deeply, your the becoming desire go away and resistance go away. Nothing that no anger, hatred, jealousy. If you purify, and the head to toes, each and every cell start to activate to 100%. That is where your spiritual vitality arise, and then no any kind of laziness, no any kind of sleepiness, tired, heaviness, any kind of uncomfort or discomfort with your body. You completely become kind of like awake physically. That physical awakening is the first step, go to mental awakening. So, and then, and deeply, that your mind anymore not comparing past or the future, and stay in the moment and know any kind of doubt, and you become very clear with the path. So this is the process that keep going. But little by little, somehow that, so in there, that once you come to that level, in your purpose should be somehow, as I mentioned from the beginning, without this doing part, and allow things to happen itself, and just keep the awareness. And everything move around us, even our head to toes, everything, body also moving, and the breathing also moving, awareness also moving. Just keep your focus to that moving part and recognize that movement, recognize that moment, whatever experience come. This is extra technique that you can whatever things come to you, just recognize how it move, rather than settle down with it. Whatever the experience come to you, see how it move, and then you will see, you go with the flow without any kind of any effort, and you're not going to settle down in one level. And that is what called sotapanna. That means you enter into the stream level, and you go with the change. You go with the change and no desire to become. So with that, just a little bit practice ourselves. So be comfortable yourself, your right palm on your left, and neck get straight in one line. Let your whole body to settle down. Scan head to toes 3 times yourself. and say Sopatveva, oh may I be well and happy 3 times. Take a moment and think. We gathered here in this moment to practice this ancient meditation technique. All the Buddhas, all the enlightened masters followed this path and achieved wisdom. So we also gathered here to accumulate that knowledge in this moment with this sitting. May my body become more comfortable. May my breath be more smooth. May no difficulties come to me. May all the success come to me. Also think for a moment. This is the last moment we spending in this very lifetime. And detach your mind from all your past memories and as well as any kind of future thoughts. Just try to remain in the present moment, observing the sensation of your inhalation, exhalation. So bring your attention to in front of your nose and your upper lip area. Deeply and gently breathing, breathe out 3 times, please. And observe the sensation. So allow your inhalation, exhalation to happen naturally itself. Don't interfere with the inhalation, exhalation. Just recognize it. If your mind go here and there, bring it back again and again. When the mind settle down, let go all the surface level of details. Just observe the feeling, sensation, formations, and awareness, how it changed followed by the inhalation, exhalation. Bring your attention to your body. Observe your posture. We cultivate loving kindness and compassion in our heart and radiate it as a light through entire your compound, village, city, state, country, world, and around this universe, and as far as you can through galaxies, other planets, stars, reminding yourself like this. So, with clear intention, mentally repeat after me. May all living beings in this universe be well and happy. May everyone be happy and safe, and may their hearts be filled with joy. May all living beings live in security and in peace. Beings who are frail or strong, tall or short, big or small, visible or not visible, near or far away, already born or yet to be born. May all of them dwell in perfect tranquility. Let no one do harm to anyone. Let no one put the life of anyone in danger. Let no one, out of anger or ill will, wish anyone any harm. Expand the loving kindness and compassion beginning from your heart forward. Visualize yourself and send it as a light to your backside, to your left side, and to your right side. Downward and upward. To all six directions at once, like the moon, the sun. Spread the light, spread the energy without any condition, without any limitation, without any resistance or without any judgment. Let your heart to shine with the loving kindness and compassion from the bottom of it, with the maximum effort to the highest. Wishing yourself, may all living beings in this universe be well and happy. Shri Sadhu, Sadhu, Sadhu. So, dear Dhamma friends, as human beings, not only human beings, these all living beings have one common nature, is grasping, holding. It's a kind of like in Pali word we call tanha. And even inside our five aggregates, we have that same nature. So in ordinary life, we have desire to hold. And that why this holding nature come? From where it create? Why you want to settle down with something? Why you want to hold something? Why that, even though it has a desire to attach, why that attachment come, from where it arise? What is the beginning of the attachment? If it is for enjoy, it is okay. Nothing wrong with enjoying. But why the attachment cannot make us to take us to satisfaction? The mostly we have the grasping nature, holding nature because of the fear. Deeply we have fear. So from where the fear come? Why the fear come? What is the beginning of the fear? Self. I am. I exist. I am. That's why the fear. When there is no I am, no fear. When there is no fear, there is no grasping nature. And then from where the I come, I am come. It's come out of thoughts, which called sanskara. And thinking about that I was like this, and I am like this, I'm going to be like that. So if there's no thoughts, no self. When there's no self mean the idea of the self. When there is no idea of self mean there is no fear. When there is no fear, there is no desire to hold, attachment. So when it comes to meditation, when you are in the present moment, if you are really comfortably settled down with the present moment, in the present moment, no thoughts. So that's why there is a moment come without effort, you're going to be in the moment. if you keep practice little by little, you're going to, you can experience. So the words are very limited to explain this, but it can happen still through this, even though it is very limited words, we can this. That's why we're trying to explain to you, encourage you. There is a moment come, if you keep practice without effort, you're going to settle down everything as it is. In that very moment, in that very moment, not depending from thoughts. When you are not depending from thoughts, you experience the moment and understanding that there's no kind of like the unchangeable self, solid awareness, because you experience it, you see it. If you don't see, as theories, you can build up many things regarding even the self. So in that very moment, when you are in the present moment, you have no fear. When there is no fear, there is nothing to hold. In the present moment, if you are really experience that, in that very moment, there's nothing to hold. Because you know you cannot hold. And even there is no desire to hold. Why? Because when the desire come to hold something, the both change. Subject and object, the both change. That doesn't mean there's that whatever the outside not exist. Of course, things exist. But there is a current go behind this all that holding as me. This call in the deeply, when it happen with the thoughts, it's called Chandaraga. Chandaraga is the deed for the samsara. So they're like properties, you have deeds. It belongs to you. And so there are like a license and the papers for material things. It hold it to you. It give power and authority to you. So there is this invisible psychological current inside you called Chandaraga. So desire-based attachment. And that is the most powerful. It comes based with the fear. And that fear give facilitate from the self. The self come out of proliferation or keep thinking, repeating your thoughts and sanskara, mental formations. So this is a way that they keep going, but through practice, you can slow down this process in the beginning. When you slow down, the very first thing that what you have to do, releasing, rather than jumping and holding and grasping, releasing. That's why in this spiritual path, one of the foundation called generosity, dana. Because once you releasing this grasping energy, and it give kind of like, you reverse the pattern, it give kind of like a comfort to you to get out of the fear. And when you get out of the fear, it helps you to see very clearly, no self. And when you recognize clearly when there is no self, you're not crazy with thoughts, then you're not going to repeat. So then slowly, little by little, you reverse it. In day-to-day life, then yourself remember. Even for meditation, don't have a kind of like a kind of don't be tough for meditation even. That is something little by don't get attached to meditation. Getting attached to meditation doesn't mean anything. Our problem is like this. In the ancient time, even before the Buddha, there were kind of like called four purushas. Four purushas. Purushartha means Purusha means the human. Artha means desire, purpose. Four Purushartha. So there were four kind of qualities people used to categorize as life. So that four categories, this called Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. Those are the four kind of like pillars. They build up their life even before the Buddha. And all this Hindu tradition, the ancient time, 1,000 years, 10,000 years, like they build up their life with that four categories, four Purusharthas. And so the first one, Dharma, means you in the beginning you develop moral value and all the discipline, that all the good qualities you bring to your life. That's the foundation, any human being. This is kind of like more than we put a label called Hindu. It's a kind of like a Manu Dharma. Manu means there was a king. That king, that the people chose one of the stronger person and told, oh, now you are the king, so you have to take care of all of us. You are the leader. The people select him and put him as the leader. It's the first king in this human existence. It's called Manu Raju. Manu, the king Manu. So he create many kind of theories to the world. That is called Manu Dharma. The beginning of this human life, he developed kind of like the principles, values, that those are the fundamental human qualities that develop that humanity. That's why I call him Manu Dharma. So this Purushartha is kind of like more than we call the Hindu. It's kind of like a Manu Dharma. It's belong to all human nature. And so the first one is Dharma. Dharma means any human being from childhood need to develop a kind of life related to the spirituality. Self-discipline. It is necessary for any life. Another one is Artha. Artha means that economical value, that you have to understand this. When we use these things, there is a value behind this, all the material. And when you have the moral value with the discipline and you can apply it in day-to-day life with this material world. And then you're going to get the material success also, all the economy, all the business, and then you become kind of like a person with a lot of material things. There's nothing wrong with it, but if you are well-disciplined person. But if you are not disciplined, even you don't have anything, you're going to become a disturb to others. So it's like you become a beggar, and then you don't have any discipline and you don't have moral values, and then you're going to steal from others. See that your poverty became a disturb to others. And so when you develop the moral value, even you have a lot of things you own, even you own the lot of things in the world, and you're not going to get disturbed out of it. So that understanding is very important for in day-to-day life as ordinary people. And the third one is the karma. So the karma means the self, the satisfaction with your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind. As a human being, you should not suffer physically and mentally. You have to have certain comfort. Having karma and comfort, nothing wrong. But get attached to it is the wrong. Seeing something beautiful is nothing wrong. But when you have the chandaraga, the desire to hold it, that is what create all the miseries. So then yourself, just understand it in day-to-day life. Don't afraid for life. This life is a gift, one way. So are you experience that life to the highest level as an ordinary person? Or are you afraid for life? Or are you stuck with something and because of the fear, you hold it to things and then you cannot experience? And the fourth one is the moksha. Moksha means liberation, spiritual value. So that also important. It's kind of like each pillar hold 25%. Dharma, the moral values, 25%. And economical value, artha, 25%. And the psychological value, karma, 25%. And the spiritual value, 25%. So that was the ancient time. People balance the life. And they don't stuck with anything. And because by the time, little by little, when they become matured in life, and slowly they move away from little by little, and then get into liberation. So then still that we see, even that we have this all the beautiful teachings around us, still we see sometimes we have only the moral value and economical value and then psychological value. Those are the three things that we dealing with life. And but we sometimes fail to get into this spiritual value part. The spiritual value part means this. Remember and listen very carefully. When you practice meditation, you respect for meditation. And you have more kind of like a very humble and very faithful ideas about meditation. When you see the Buddha statue, we knee down, you bow the Buddha statue and you respect to the Buddha. But end of your life, this everything going to go away. You cannot count this anything. So especially when it comes to meditation, that kind of like this, what I'm trying to tell, don't be a meditator. Practice meditation and get into the liberation and get out of meditation. That is different. Becoming a Buddhist doesn't mean any sense, because you will die and the people say, oh, he's Buddhist, and just put the may he attain Nibbana. That's what you get the title finally, if you are Buddhist. And if you are in any other religion, and according to that, and they write down something, rest in peace, or wherever, whatever. But what the Buddha said in Buddhism, don't be a Buddhist or don't be a meditator. Get the result and let go this and move away from it. Whatever the Buddhism or whatever the Buddhist or meditator, get out of that title. Get the result. Without getting result, mostly what we does, we hold it to, I am Buddhist, or I practice meditation. I have a meditation cushion, and I have incense. I have a Buddha statue. So like that, oh, I have this book that you, and I, so you may create kind of comfortable zone yourself. And in that place you feel very good. And how about the result? So attaining to liberation is the final goal. You have to, rather than playing with the ball, you have to hit the goal. So that is what you have to do. When you have to do it, right away, as soon as possible. Whenever you get the opportunity, you hit the goal. Don't keep playing with the ball. You're going to miss the point. So that's why this. So you develop the moral value in your life, and you have the economical value. You go with these things, and you associate this, and even you have the psychological value regarding life, and you, as a human being, you have the comfort and you enjoy the life, but out of this world without getting stuck and without hold it to any, move forward and get into the liberation path. And that is the point of vipassana. So as a human being, that is the final point that you can settle down, not anywhere else. So then remember, every day when you practice meditation, but don't attach to that. Don't, it's like the vehicle. You get it and you drive it and you keep it wherever it should be. You don't bring it to your bedroom. You cannot bring it. Same like you practice meditation to get into this journey, and you've done it. It's like same like the boat. You use it to cross the river. That's it. So if you don't do that, otherwise you may be painting the boat and putting flowers to the boat and maybe playing with the boat and going around it and talking to others and appreciate it. This all need. That's nothing wrong with it. But if you don't cross the river, what's the point? So like that, we sometimes we say we are Buddhists, but if we don't get the essence of the Buddha's teaching, what's the point? Because the Buddhas come again and again. Eons after eons, Buddhas will come. And the Vipassana, and this teachings going, Samatha and Vipassana, this teachings going to be in the again and again. But this is your time. How you know you're going to be like this again? Who can guarantee? No one. So that's why it is your responsibility, as soon as possible, develop the path and get into the result. And don't stuck, don't settle down anywhere else. Having anything is okay, doing anything is okay, but remember, keep going. Don't stop, keep going, keep going. And that way you will see yourself how the journey going to happen. Otherwise, we going to stuck with this outside world. We keep arguing, we going to enjoying ourselves and everything. It's just the thought. So that's why remember yourself, and it is your final responsibilities is liberation, Nibbana. And you do everything, you have a life, you go school, you study, you work, and you have a family, you take care of them, and you have children, you take care of them, you have grandchildren, you take care of them, and you do all your social work and everything. But out of this all, remember, the most highest final destination is liberation. Somehow keep going to that place. Otherwise, with this outside world, we have many, many things to talk. Even to send monks, and they were at the temple every day. They were having an argument. There was a flag, and it's moving. Every day, 1 hour, 2 hour, these two monks come after lunch, and they're having argument. What is the argument? Is that the flag moving or the wind moving? So the high priest noticed these two monks every day after lunch come to this place, now months, and they arguing about this something. So the high priest came one day and asked, I see that both of you having a kind of argument. No, venerable sir, that we were now still we're trying to get into understanding this, the flag moving or the wind moving. So then the high priest told, it is not the flag or the wind, it's your mind moving. So that doesn't mean it doesn't move, but it's not relevant to us. When it comes to life yourself, look, it doesn't matter how big the universe sometimes. It doesn't matter. When it comes to the moment of your just blink of your eye, if you don't have the peace, calmness, tranquility state yourself, what's the point that how big this universe? It doesn't matter the at night the stars shining or not, blinking or not. Of course it is there, it creates beauty, but how about when it comes to your own life, just for a second, if you cannot find the peace deeper in your heart, that is matter. So then look for that. And you practice this all the rituals and the discipline and everything, loyalty, that everything, that is good. But that doesn't bring that deeper understanding, remember. It is facilitate for you to the next level. It is good that you have this all, everything, your house, these vehicles and all these material things. It is good, but remember, it's not going to bring that deeper wisdom. It is good for that moment. Appreciate it. And also, you have this eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, and you appreciate it. It is beautiful that you have this opportunity to experience this life. But how about deeper? If you, through this eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, if you deeply get disturbed out of this world, if you are, when you close your eyes, even just end of the day, when you go to sleep, if you have deep unsatisfaction, what's the point? So what is the reason for that? It is not what you see with your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind. It is not because of this, outside world. And it is not about the whatever the moral values. It is deeper our understanding. So then, even though other things hold a certain amount of responsibility, the most highest responsibility within yourself to recognize it. So to that recognize that yourself, then keep observe little by little without getting disturbed from your past or the future. And stay and settle down there and little by little increase that duration. There is no moment, only in the present moment you find the peace, harmony, and tranquility state. So find a place to stay a little bit and increase the duration, and then you will see the, the desire to grasping release. As a result, fear release, self-centered mind release, and the depending from thoughts release. There is a moment come, you release from this all four at once. That is where your transformation, your liberation happens. So it is possible. Only thing is, have the faith yourself, and with this understanding, keep practice. So with that, I bless upon everyone with this good practice. May all of you be well, happy, and peaceful. May no harm come to you. May no difficulties come to you. May no problems come to you. May you also have the patience, courage, understanding, and determination to meet and overcome inevitable difficulties in your life. During this time period, everyone stay healthy and safe. And finally, may all of you attain supreme bliss of liberation, Nibbana. Sabbityo vajjantu sabbarogo vinassatu mate bhavattantarayo sukhi dīghāyuko bhavat. Ettavataccami sampadam punya sampadam sabbe devanumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Sabbe bhutanumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Sabbe sattanumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Idamme punya kammang asavakkaya vahammotu sabba dukkha pancatu. Bless you.
Hi, Venerable. Thanks for the metaphor of walking on the wire. It's